case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for.
The Supreme Court of the United States heard the case of Exxon Corp v. Governor of Maryland in 1978, which focused on whether state governments can regulate economic markets without unfairly discriminating against out-of-state businesses or burdening interstate commerce. The court also examined whether state statutes must have a reasonable connection to a legitimate state interest in order to satisfy due process. This legal dispute arose when Exxon Corp and other oil companies challenged a Maryland law that prohibited petroleum producers or refiners from operating retail service stations within the state and required them to offer all voluntary allowances equally to every service station they supply. The oil companies claimed that company ownership was necessary for their method of private label and low-cost competition, and contended that the divestiture provisions of the law were unconstitutional. After the Maryland Court of Appeals upheld the law, Exxon appealed the decision. Ultimately, the Supreme Court affirmed the Court of Appeals ruling. The court reasoned that the Maryland statute was a response to the inequitable distribution of gasoline among retail stations during the 1973 petroleum shortage and aimed to correct these imbalances. The court determined that the Maryland statute did not conflict with federal law, discriminate against interstate commerce, or exceed the state's legitimate purpose of regulating the gasoline retail market. Consequently, the statute was upheld, solidifying the principle that states have the authority to regulate economic markets within their borders under certain conditions.
Case briefs, and so much more. LSData's got what you're looking for. Visit lsd.law, elevate your mind. Leave the stress of class.